Hi everyone, Sabrina here, Books at the Wernberg, with overarching review of the BBC Doctor Who novels. I say novels, they're actually really novellas, of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor, and obviously his 2 seasons. So far we have been given 5 original stories and 1 novelisation. So the novelisation at the church on Ruby Road, which is obviously a blow-by-blow account of Ncuti's Doctor's first story where he meets Ruby. So this is not the giggle where he turns up after the bi-generation thing. This is his first full-blown adventure on his own with Ruby. And yes, the singing goblins are in this. I actually can't remember if the song is in here. Yes. The lyrics to the Goblin song are in here, if you want to learn it, if you don't already know it. So this I picked up because Esme had done the novelisation and she'd written the Principle of Moments, which I really liked, so I wanted to support them. They're a big Doctor Who fan and it does show in their work. There's a lot of love in this. They've done a cracking job novelising the story that's been on screen. Clearly they've worked with the scripts, as most novelisations do. And it's done with a lot of love and a lot of attention to little details, so I really appreciated this. The next 3 that I picked up were Ruby Red, Caged, and the Eden Rebellion. Now these are, considering how short they are, I'm not kidding when I say they are short. This is 191 pages, including the acknowledgements page. So considering how short, and you can see why I call them novellas, they actually do a really good job of whacking in a full-blown adventure story with the Doctor and companion, in this case Ruby, turning up. We meet a few other characters who are nicely developed, and the story is wrapped up by the end of the book. Characters have moved on, changed, learned from their lessons, or died, and the Doctor and Ruby depart and move on. They are really good, solid stories. I kind of wish we'd had these on screen, but they very much do capture the essence of Ncuti and Millie's companion-doctor relationship. They bounce off each other really well. Ruby's quite confident. These are set a little bit further into her season, so she's done the introductory stuff. She's established herself as a character at this point. And they're just really well written. They're good, solid stories. I can't fault them. My main gripe, and it will be the gripe that I have with all of them, is they're too short. I'm used to Doctor Who stories that were 300, 400 pages long. I mean, I think one of the early ones is 450 pages, where there was a hell of a lot more character development, where there was more complex storylines going on, and there was more Doctor-companion relationship being built up. And in a 200-page novella, you don't have the room to do that. So the plot is fairly straightforward. There's no overarching complexities to the characters. You meet them, you get to know them very quickly, and they go through the story with you. So if you're lucky, you have 2 or 3 extra characters alongside the Doctor and Ruby in the novella. There's not enough room to have more characters or more development or more complex story structures going on. There just isn't the room. And this is going to be my other gripe with these, which is probably why you're not seeing them on the shelves as much. They are £14.99. I remember when Doctor Who books were £4. Yeah, I'm that old. But but even the old hardback books were £6.99. So this is the middle of David Tennant and Martha's run. We are sitting here at 240 pages for £6.99. We've lost pages and it's over double the price. This is why these books are not being picked up. So anyone who says, oh, there's no one's caring about the Doctor Who books, no one's reading them, it's because they're bloody expensive. BBC, sort it out. Why should these authors be penalised for the costs of the bloody books? They're also, frustratingly, the oversized. I do it that way. They're the oversized hardback. So these are the same size as the Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi and Jodie Whittaker books when they came out. So we've gone from the small dumpy books, which are actually really sweet, to the taller books. And the most recent 2 I picked up are Spectral Scream and Fear Death by Water. This one has Grace Darling tied into it. I have a little bit of issue when a historical figure is actually tied into a Doctor Who story. I don't really like it. I don't know what it is. It doesn't work for me. I appreciate what authors or writers are trying to do when they do that, but no, these historical figures are supposed to be able to stand in history as themselves. They don't need the Doctor to make them special. They already were special. That was my biggest gripe with the Rosa episode. She was already amazing. She did not need the Doctor's help to be amazing. Don't get me started. So I didn't enjoy this one as much as I could have done, but I did learn a lot about Grace Darling. To be honest, there's not much to learn because she died so young. She's known for one remarkable event, which, let's face it, any determined young woman of that time period would have done exactly the same. And there's not much more to her story, which is why it's been spread out into a more sci-fi driven story, in the same way that every other historical character that encounters the Doctor is dragged into another storyline. This one I enjoyed much more, Spectral Scream. This has Belinda in it. I love Belinda as a character. Still pissed off about how she was treated. So this is Belinda for me. Her relationship with the Doctor is quite early on. We've just had Lux. I want to say Lux. We just had that episode, so she's found her feet a little bit, but is still desperately trying to get home, as she always was, to get back to her job and her mum and dad, not to go and have a bloody fake baby. Really like this one though. The characters around the Doctor and Belinda are really engaging. They're different. It's got mushrooms in it, and you know I'm a sucker for mushrooms. So I've really enjoyed this one. It's nicely tied up by the end. There are a few little loose threads, but that's for the future. We don't worry about things like that at the moment, because that's not what this Doctor is about. This Doctor is about helping those in front of him. So out of the 5 original novels, I'm going to say I really like Caged, although I couldn't tell you the plot about it at all at the moment because I read that quite a while ago, but I really like that one. And definitely Spectral Scream. They're my 2 favourites at the moment in this series. I am aware there are several other series of Doctor Who books that are being published at the moment. Much like with previous Doctors, we've got companion stories going on, and then they're doing like these special Doctor episodes where they meet a historical figure, which is why it kind of bugs me that we've lost an original novel focusing on one. So we have another series that I'm not collecting them because frankly I don't have the room to keep collecting all the books that are released about the Doctor. I just don't have the room anymore. And I'm getting choosy. I want original novels. I want stuff that I'm going to enjoy. So I'm really hoping we get some more original novels of Nshuti's Doctor, particularly as his reign is so short. And they don't do what they did to Jodie and only give us 3 books. Yes, Jodie's Doctor had 3 books that focused on her from the original range of BBC books. I mean, literally, she was never being supported right from the word go. Really annoys me. But now with Nshuti's Doctor gone, I don't know what's going to happen with the book series, because as has been proven before, the BBC are very, very quick to drop anything that's Doctor Who related. They seem to be embarrassed by it. And yet, seriously, it's your biggest money spinner. Why are you doing that? So I don't know how long we're going to get more books with Nshuti's Doctor in, but I hope we get some more original novels, particularly from authors that I actually haven't come across before in the Doctor Who universe. It's quite refreshing to see also some female names on this list and some authors of colour, because let's face it, the Doctor Who books in the past weren't particularly diverse. And yes, I know that it upsets people, but frankly, it shows in the quality of the stories we were getting. And if anyone thinks I'm just moaning because I'm a girl who happens to enjoy most Doctor Who's, I've been reading the Doctor Who stories since 1995, 96. So I grew up reading the Virgin New Adventures and the Target novelizations. Anything I could get my hands on, I have devoured. And then obviously I've moved through to the BBC paperbacks with the 8th Doctor and the Past Doctor series. And then obviously the new hardback series when Christopher Eccleston showed up on the scene. I have read a lot of Doctor Who original novels. So I know what I like by now. And I like authors to be respected. I like the authors to have space and the page count to tell the full story they want to tell. And I like original stories. I like to see the Doctor and the Companion in a completely different world, in a period of history. I want adventures, frankly. And at the moment, these books are giving me those little adventures. Yes, they're short, but they're fun. And you can't fault that. Have you read any of the Doctor Who novels? Have you read the new ones? Which one's your favourite out of these? And are you miffed at the cost versus the page count? Do let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Happy reading.